Good morning. It's Wednesday.
Make sure you subscribe.
Hello, it's Wednesday, about 9:30 in the morning.
Can I say it?
Yep,
No.
Go ahead, say it.
Make sure to subscribe and
Give us a thumbs up.
yeah, and click that bell. Actually, slap it.
Slap the bell. Anyway, we are.
Hit the like button.
It's Wednesday. We came up to Devil's Tower before we're going to Deadwood. So I'll show you. This GoPro doesn't zoom very well, but Devil's Tower is way over there. We can see it from a long ways away. It's pretty cool looking.
It is.
Daddy, is that upside down?
We'll get better pictures when we get there.
Only 8 miles. No.
So, anyway, it's been about a 2-hour trip, but it'll just be from here. It'll just be an hour back to Deadwood, and then we're spending the rest of the day in Deadwood, all the way up into the evening. So, we've got plenty of time in Deadwood, and it'll be a lot of fun. So, we'll see you when we get to Devil's Tower in just a few minutes, about 10 minutes. I don't know if you can see it way over there, but that is Devil's Tower. My truck is filthy. All right, kids, let's roll. We're at the Devil's Tower National Monument. Pretty cool.
Hey, Maisie, because you were going, my little Maisie.
Hi, Maisie.
I'm not Maisie.
Okay, Maisie.
Daddy? You can look on my birth certificate.
Don't kick up dust.
No, you can look
Yes, you are.
Mama, what does that say? Read it. I don't know. What does it say?
You gonna be okay? You're gonna label the tower, the geology of the tower.
Did you get the stamp?
Yeah, I got the stamp.
Mama, look, there's a whitey thing.
Oh, there he is.
You ready?
Logan, what are you doing?
I drew a
What
flower.
would you do for a junior ranger?
Yes. All that book.
Thank you, but I don't know what's in it.
Well, they just drew a picture of a plant or animal they might see in the park.
I just saw it right there, so.
Oh.
Thanks, Mama.
And then there's some crossword puzzles, some word
I-
searches,
I might see flowers.
some label the towers. So however old they are, that's how many activities they have different.
Mama, can I see that?
Oh my gosh, I'd have to be 54. Oh, I don't
I'll pay attention. And, okay, bye. It's so much more.
Oh, yeah. And you get the shot that you never get.
That's what I said. I used to have 35 millimeters. It's digital. Well, that digital, I probably get better pictures.
Oh, God.
I do better with the camera. I mean, the phone.
Careful, dude.
Yeah.
Be careful. Just be careful, guys.
Was that fun? You probably could have, but we don't have all day. Come on, Mace.
This thing's stupid. It doesn't even know its own numbers. I'm done. I quit. Quit. Mommy. This thing doesn't even know numbers.
Why?
Because there's 15, 18, 19. There's no 16. Oh. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Hey! 24. Trying to do my thing, Noah. Read it. No bossy cat.
Catch up with us down here. Can you open it for me?
Here, I think. Now, Allie, go by Allie.
I made it.
Did you make it to the top?
I hit my head
No, I am not stuck now.
Hey girls. 3, 1, 2,
Mommy, I found a flower. Look. On this page?
Yeah. Dad, Logan, small. Macy, turn to the pages. It's falling out.
I'm 8, not 9. Going on 9 on that. This one? It's page 9. Oh. Yeah, she said you're 8.
Come on, Noah.
Hey girls, let's keep it going here.
Can we do the page?
Yeah, I'm trying to, but you keep walking away.
Who's up there?
Macy, we're going this way.
Yes?
Do all plants die when there's a fire in the area?
No.
Not all of them. Right?
I don't know.
Nope.
Why put it
Roll.
false?
I think a false. F.
Did it. Next. Turn. Is it truth or false? Come on,
I don't know. What do you think, Dad? What?
Floods help new cottonwood trees. What?
Grow and old ones get nutrients?
Sure.
True.
Mommy, did it. You can't do this. Mommy,
What?
I did not understand what you said.
You didn't understand, Macy.
No, I understood what she said.
Oh, way up there.
Okay, we're 0.1 miles away from a geocache. 500 feet now, 503. You can hear them coming,
Oh,
I'm sure.
y'all made it. Hey, y'all be careful.
Yeah, they're doing their junior ranger things. Logan and I are geocaching. We're 83 feet away from one.
Oh. What do you do when you find it?
Well, this one is a virtual one. They won't let you leave them in national parks and stuff.
That's what I was about to ask.
But this is a virtual one. Probably you just take a picture and mark on the app that you found it.
Lord.
I heard you slapping the table. Where's your junior ranger stuff?
What?
Dad,
What?
Mommy, Mason are catching up with you.
Okay.
So can we wait for them?
Okay, Logan. It says it's 60 feet that way. I'm not going up there.
60 feet.
Uh-huh. No. Don't. That's a prayer thing. So we're close enough.
They say that.
We'll wait
That's
here.
actually where
Dad, let's wait here. Dad. Hey, armpit. I finished it.
You did?
Booyah!
Did you beat Macy?
Maybe not.
It's okay.
I did it.
You did good.
I win.
Yeah.
Take that, Blue.
What was the funnest part?
Nothing.
None of it?
No, I hate writing.
Why?
I just want to finish it. I finished it. Mama, you know that Junior Ranger suit? And a baby. So, 3 in there. We keep on feeding them the worst workers in the world.
Really?
Yes. Because they're so fat. He's kind of stuff. He is?
you do.
I do.
What?
Right there.
What?
Huh?
What?
Where?
You see them?
Mommy, I thought you were eaten by a bear.
Oh. Are you disappointed? A little bit.
Can they go ahead of us?
They said they live with us.
Mom, there's a like thing.
Oh, yeah.
These are all the distractions. Mom, these are all the distractions. Mom, these are all the distractions.
Step on ants. No animals will get my food. I won't litter because that's rude. My work is never done. Just ranger lights. Nice work. Leo, Macy, Matt. There we go. Nice work.
Mom, can I do this one? Can I do this one?
No, do this one in your little circle.
You can still do that.
Yeah, you can still do that one on there.
Can you do both, Mama?
Yep.
Mom, can you do both? Can you?
Do that one somewhere. There you go.
Good job.
I'm doing both.
Okay, can you just range your stuff in? Uh-huh. So when we go to Badlands, if you wanted to do one, you can. No, I want to.
Where's my second one?
I'd rather do the points.
Mom, is this the right way? Is it? Is this the
We
right
only have the
way?
Badlands left, right? That's the only national park. Yeah, this way right here. Yeah.
I did it!
Like that. Yep. That's good.
Good job.
Awesome.
All right, let's go. All right, we just finished at Devil's Tower.
Yep.
What'd you think, Dad?
It was cool. I enjoyed it.
Worth the 2-hour drive?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely. Yeah, it was a 2-hour drive from our RV camp up to here. Definitely worth it. We had a great time. Kids had fun. What'd y'all get? What'd y'all get, kids?
Dun dun dun!
They're junior rangers now. That was fun.
I'm a junior ranger.
You're a junior ranger. So now we're heading on to Deadwood. And we will see what's there. All right, we're in Deadwood. That was the sign we just stopped at to take our picture. And now we're heading on into town. We'll see what it has to offer.
Noah. To play.
That's the smoky.
Where did you see?
Right there, pizza and Ember. Maybe it's around 5.
I'm sure there's plenty.
You ever had an orange Julius? I thought they were gone.
Job.
I don't know, here's saloon number 10.
This is one of the restaurants, the Deadwood Social Club.
Okay. It's connected to saloon number 10.
Number 10.
Yeah, it's right here. So you want to eat here? Families are welcome. Yeah, look, see?
Okay.
Go on in.
All right. With me.
I don't know.
Are you almost done with it? Yes. I mean, I'm already on season 4, which is more, so it usually takes them
So where are we? We're at the saloon number 10, but we're at the Deadwood Social Club.
Deadwood Social Club, which is upstairs.
It's upstairs above saloon number 10, where Wild Bill Hickok got killed. So, anyway.
I see why you wanted to switch. See what now?
What?
Mama, see what now? Mama, see what now?
I know you had that card up your sleeve. Well, what do you keep up your sleeve?
No.
I keep my armies in my sleeveys. How about you?
Same here.
Right? I saw you on a wanted poster. You stole 15 chickens, didn't you? Yeah, I know you did. It said it right there. What did you do with those chickens, Rex?
I make them lay eggs. And I eat
You
them.
forced them to lay eggs? You squeezed them? Jamie, that's it. Get over here. That's cruelty to the chickens. Was it exciting? No groaning. No groaning. I'm packing. Okay. Stand right there. In case I miss, I'm going to hit this tree. You ever been hit by a dirt board? It's tough. Tough stuff. Okay, when Hickok, when he'd get in a gunfight, what he'd do is he'd turn sideways. They call that doula style. If you're right-handed, turn the other way. All Hickok had to do is lift his gun and shoot, right? It makes you a smaller target. What's it do to me? Makes me a giant target. In fact, you got 2 targets instead like that. All right. Ma'am, can you count us out to 3?
Count 3.
Yes.
1.
Oh, wait a second. Let me get ready. Okay, count us out.
1. 2.
Hold it, hold it, hold it. Are we going to do this on 1, 2, bang? Or 1, 2, 3, bang?
1, 2, bang.
I'll go 1, 2, bang. You go 1, 2, 3, bang. We'll do it both ways. And we're 30 minutes.
I'm gonna take a picture.
You think he's that good of a shot?
I think so. He's my, don't kill me, grandson.
He's your nephew.
I love you.
He's a chicken thief. He's a chicken thief.
Take that guy right there too. I got both of you, yep. I need 2 more. It's simple. One right there. I need an adult.
You go.
Oh, there he is. That guy right there. Come on back here. I gotta give you a costume, a little bit of direction, and we'll get started.
On his chest. Everybody out there, everybody that wanted to make a name for themselves went over and went after the famous Wild Bill Hickok. Now, why was he so famous? Well, one thing, he was a lawman all across Kansas, places like Wichita, Abilene, Fort Hays, Fort Riley. Those are cattle towns back in the day. He cleaned those things up. I tell you, there's many a sheriff died before him having the same job that he did and settled those towns down. He was a great lawman. But what really made him famous, well, it was the media. Of course, here we go again. Now, I don't want to break your guys' hearts, but in my day, sometimes the media did not tell the truth. I'm not kidding. Not kidding. Hard to believe, isn't it? Yeah, hard to believe. Yeah, and people, they would read fiction. Back east, they'd read all about Wild Bill and all his tales, and they believed that stuff. Like those dime novels right up there. We got the word Deadwood right underneath that. Those are 4 of the Deadwood Dick series. People would come out here forever trying to meet old Deadwood Dick, which is not a real Deadwood Dick. Yeah, no, that came from the magazine there. Yeah, we had about 8 different Deadwood Dicks playing him over the years. But in there, they said that old Hickok shot, well, about 150 people in his lifetime. Harper's Magazine, later on Harper's Bazaar. Harper's Magazine was brand new. They did a series of articles on Hickok, said he shot 125 people. I got a name for that, folks. Yeah, now this term is one I made up myself. Fake news. There she goes. Yeah, easy listening. Yeah, fake news. He shot 7 people in the name of the law for somebody shooting at him. And I'm not talking about the time he was in the Union Army. He was a scout and spy for the Union sharpshooter. Nor the time that he spent with the cavalry, the 10th and the 7th. He rode with General Custer for a while. He got out just in time, though. That was a good move. I have a bad feeling about this. And he quit that one. But those things, they put that target on him, it got bigger and bigger, and he had to have all kinds of behaviors because of that. Old Hickok used to sit with his back to the wall. Every time he played cards, anytime that he was in a saloon. That's not a big deal, really. Wyatt Earp sat with his back to the wall. So did Doc Holliday, Pat Matheson, Tillman. All those greats, they're not going to sit in the middle of the room like this guy is. You know, behind you, there's probably 80 people back there. Yeah, and I tell you what, that one there in the orange looks pretty sharp. Yeah, I know they got your back. Watch out for him. Is that your name? Deep Dead? Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Deadwood. Yeah, welcome to the old style, Saloon number 10. This is the only museum in the world with a bar in it. Yeah, I know, you know that's why I hang out here. I love museums. Well, anyway, I know why you're all here today. You're to watch me play some cards, right? All right, well, I'm going to do that for you. First, let me introduce the friends I'm playing with today. Charlie Rich, come on out. Charlie Rich, gambler from Cheyenne. Right there. Next up, we got Captain William Massey, a retired riverboat captain. There he is. Holy smokes, Captain, you retired early. All right, Carl, get out of here. It's all about you. Carl Mann, the owner of the Saloon 10. Yeah, that's sweet, Carl. And last but not least, everybody's favorite guy in the bar. The bartender. Here he is. There he is. All right, like I said, I'm going to play some cards for you. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I am James Butler Hickok. Folks nowadays, well, they all like to call me Wild Bill. You know, I was born in Troy Grove, Illinois in 1837. Think how old that make me? 39, exactly right. Good job. Well, when I was just a kid, I worked on the family farm there in Troy Grove, and well, I had a lot of spare time on my hands, and with that spare time, I decided I'd work on my shooting. And I got real good out there too, shooting that small game and targets and such. So good, in fact, by the time I was 12 years old, I was winning marksman competitions. Oh, everybody knew who I was, and they knew I could shoot. Several years later, when the Civil War broke out, well, the Northern Army must have heard about me because they came calling for me right away. They wanted me to be a sharpshooter and a scout and a spy for them. Well, of course, I obliged them. I love that too, except for the fact that I got shot twice. Yeah, I made it through, though. Did a lot of good things for the Army and made a lot of lifelong friends. But when the war ended, I was just like everybody else. I needed work. So I took off and I headed west. Oh, I bounced around a bit, ended up in Springfield, Missouri. Now, Springfield, more of just a stopping point for me, but I did get into some card games with a fella by the name of Davis Tutt. And Davis, he was a Southern boy, and of course I fought for the North during the war. So how we got along well enough to sit across the table from each other, I have no idea. Man, that guy really did not like me at all. You know, come to think of it, it might have had something to do with me seeing his girlfriend. Well, we played cards for a few days, and I ended up owing him about $35. Well, $35 being quite a sum of money that I didn't have,
and Davis really wanted some collateral, well, I didn't know what I was going to do. All I had was an old pocket watch that my daddy had given me, and I wasn't about to give that up. But Davis, he was relentless. He wanted something to ensure him that he was going to get his money back. So, reluctantly, I did end up giving him that pocket watch, but I told him, I said, now, Davis, don't be going around telling everybody how you took that from me in a card game, because that ain't how it happened. That watch means a whole lot more to me than $35, and I'm getting it back. Well, the very next day, here's Davis Tutt in the streets of Springfield, swinging that watch around, taunting me with it. Well, I yelled at him across the town square, told him to knock it off, but he didn't want to listen. He yells back at me, I yell back at him. Then what's he do? He pulls out a gun and he takes a shot at me. Landed right at my feet. Well, if you know anything about the West, you don't take a shot at somebody unless you expect one coming right back at you. And I don't miss. I lined up at Davis 75 yards across the town square in Springfield with my .36 caliber black powder pistol. Bam, one shot right through the heart. Well, the authorities there in Springfield were none too happy with me shooting a fella down in their streets. They arrested me. They told me that I was liable for the death of Davis Tutt. Well, I said, what about self-defense? He shot first. No, all the witnesses on his side said he was just punning around. It was more of a warning shot than anything. You know, I'm quite sure he didn't think it was too fun after it was over. Well, the judge saw my way. Self-defense. I was acquitted there in Springfield. But I did figure it was about high time I got out of town. So I headed farther west. Still looking for work. Yeah, I drove some freight and rode some Pony Express. But that scouting, that's what I really liked. I got to scout the likes of the 10th Cavalry and the 7th Cavalry all over Kansas and Nebraska territory. And as I'm out there scouting for them boys, well, I noticed a lot of small towns were sprouting up out there. Yeah, it seemed like everybody just kind of headed west on this big land grab, you know. Well, it also seemed to me not a lot of them towns had any law in them to speak of. Kind of gave me an idea, maybe I should be a lawman. So that's what I did. Now, I dabbled a bit in law enforcement before. 1860, I was a constable at Monticello Township right outside of Kansas City. But I didn't want to be the constable. I wanted to be the sheriff or the marshal, the guy in charge. And, well, I found quite a few of them jobs all the way across Kansas. Places like Fort Riley and Hays City. No, a couple more. Till I ended up in Abilene, Kansas. Now, see, Abilene, it was a rough cattle town. One of the roughest there was. Them cattle drives, they'd come through there, bring all sorts of outlaws and ruffians with them. They'd shoot up the town, scare the heck out of everybody. The people that were just there trying to make a life for themselves, well, they were all living in fear. And they were more than happy when they heard the great Wild Bill Hickok got the job as their marshal. I got to town, I laid down some new ground rules. Do not bring your guns to town. Certainly don't be shooting them off in city limits. There was this guy. There's always this guy, right? Yeah, a fella by the name of Phil Coe. Phil, he was a Texas cattleman. He bought a bar there in Abilene, and I guess he had a little problem with my authority. See, I was a marshal. I laid down the rules and I enforced them. And Phil, he didn't want to follow the rules. He just wanted to argue with me about them all the time. Every day it seemed there was something new with that guy. Well, till early one evening.
Entertain the thousands of eligible prospectors. Some came with hopes of finding the right man. Others came simply to make their own fortune. Their attire, somewhat more revealing than what was thought to be proper, was looked down upon by those trained in ladylike etiquette. But nonetheless, they brought to the gold rush an air of reckless, dazzling excitement. By August 2nd, 1876, they were well established up and down Deadwood City's main street, working around the clock in one fashion or the other. Honky-tonk piano and their songs of promising spirit filled the air. Many an unlucky prospector could find hope for tomorrow, for he knew what the night would bring. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Wild Bill Hickok entered saloon number 10, seeking a little poker action. Charlie Rich, a gambler from Cheyenne,
What do you got scared
Carl
of some
Mann,
girl
owner
play?
of
They
saloon
ran
number
out of
10,
here.
and Captain Massey, a riverboat captain from
How you doing,
Missouri,
Bill?
were
Shot that
engaged in a
whiskey,
game
Harry.
of draw poker and were quick to invite Bill to join them.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Alright, I'll be there in a second.
Wild Bill's
Tell you what.
reputation demanded that he be exceedingly cautious. For instance, he never liked to sit with his back to the door. The vacant seat was so located, and a lively debate between Charlie Rich and Bill resulted in an attempt on
Charlie!
Bill's part to get Charlie's
Get
chair.
out of my chair.
No, forget it, Bill.
What do you mean, forget it, Bill? I sit there, you know it, get out.
I've been
Bill
sitting
was
here
not
for the whole
given his
day,
request,
Bill.
I
and
don't care how long
grudgingly,
you've
with
been
great
there
hesitation,
either.
took the
I
empty
don't care.
chair. But after a few minutes, he stood up and again asked Charlie for his chair.
Alright, I'll... Dang it, Charlie, I can't sit here and you know it.
Bill
Now
didn't
get
win
out of
this
that
argument
stinking
either,
chair.
and on
I've
this
been here
rare
for the
occasion,
whole
he
day.
settled
It's my
down,
lucky
sitting with his
day.
back to the
Bill,
door.
just sit, Bill.
Wariness, though,
Alright,
kept
I'll
Bill
take your
alert,
money and then
for
I'll
all
take your
knew him
chair,
to be a
Charlie.
left-handed drinker, leaving his right
the matter
hand
with
free
this
to
guy,
handle his
Carl?
pistol. As unpredictable
Five
as
card
card
draw.
games are, Bill found himself quickly losing to Massey, who had lost to Bill the night before.
I get $15 from you,
Bill
Harry.
asked Harry for $15 worth of pocket checks. Harry brought them over to Bill and returned to the
Thank you
bar
very much. I
and his
appreciate
duties.
that.
Soon, a shifty drifter known as Jack McCall entered the saloon. Bill quickly turned while drawing his gun. Recognizing McCall as a newcomer to town, he greeted him with a friendly,
Howdy, Jack.
then reholstered his gun and resumed the
I
game.
can't believe he came back
Jack
today.
slowly circled the table,
He took
pausing
such a
briefly
beat
behind
last
each
night,
player
just love
and
you,
analyzing
50,
each hand.
300. That's out of here. Pay no mind to him, Captain. He's just a kid. He don't know. You're better.
No. See this?
Bet him up. However many you
Oh,
want to
come
throw
on,
in
you're
there.
good.
His attention was on Massey. There was a friendly argument between them, and while Bill remarked,
Ah, that's what I like to see out of you, Matt.
No.
We'll get you home
upon
early.
returning directly
Okay.
behind Wild Bill, suddenly
Now,
Jack
you gonna stand
McCall,
there for that, Charlie? You better take that, dang you!
the bullet struck Bill in the back of the head, coming out of his left cheek and lodged in Captain Massey's left arm. It was discovered soon after the cards Bill was holding were aces and eights, forever known as the dead man's hand. All fled the saloon except Carl Mann, who was held at bay by McCall. Jack snapped the trigger of his gun several times. It failed to fire. He then
Bill's
ran
dead!
out the door and up
Bill's
the street.
dead!
He was found hiding in a building behind a butcher shop. Later on in the day, he was tried in a miner's court. The jury, being tainted and influenced by a deceitful defense, found McCall not guilty, and he was released. This decision not only outraged the judge, but also the general populace. McCall left the camp in haste. Upon reaching supposed safety in Wyoming, he began bragging of his ignoble deed. Word of this reached the U.S. Marshal, who tracked McCall down, arrested him, and sent him to Yankton to be tried again in Dakota Territory. It was determined, since the first trial was held in Indian Territory, that it was not legal. McCall was found guilty and hung for his cowardly crime. He was buried in an unmarked grave on the edge of town. Later, as the town grew, the cemetery was moved. As the coffins were opened, one corpse was found with a rope around its neck. It was easily identified as Jack McCall, the assassin of Wild Bill. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for taking the time to allow us to share.
Let's hear my volunteers.
Yeah.
That's what I'm showing you on the on like cities and stuff and brick, okay? Sprint from it!
You wanna go see how much waiting? You don't want to cross?
Yeah.
No, I'm just crossing right here.
Okay. I'm not gonna go up there anyways.
Cool. Want to go up there? Slow. Slow.
What's going on?
This is Wild Bill's grave. There's Calamity Jane.
Yep.
And can you buy it? Okay. For money. Please. Okay. Okay, Mom.
We just saw Wild Bill's grave and Calamity Jane. Now we're walking over here to look at the overlook of the town.
There's another bus coming.
I'm going here. Logan!
Macy, your leg.
Yeah, she fell. And it,
Is this real water?
No. Did you look in the tent? What did it say?
I didn't read it. Look.
Yeah.
So we promise to pick up the next one. And help keep person time. I'll wait for many more apples.
go over there with your brothers.
Let's give a big hand, everybody. That is one fantastic bunch of deputies right there. I tell you what, I feel safer already just having them on this party. Well, I'm talking about feeling safer, folks. I've got one big favor to ask from everybody. It looks like you're doing a great job so far, and that is that you please stay on the sidewalk. You can sit on the curb, that is just fine, but please do not step off that curb again so you don't get out here on these brakes. The reason for that is we're going to be using 1858 rifles, they're cap and ball revolvers, they're real guns. You know those things that with 15 grains of black powder per shot, and then instead of a lead ball,
Stay right there.
down with a spray of wind.
Stay right there.
Because we're serial killers. Yeah. You can just
No, your best bet is over here.
If you would have to walk around here during this shootout, we would have to put a stop to show the safety concerns. Because we definitely don't want anybody getting hurt. Stand on the sidewalk and be just fine. You might just give this young fellow here a listen. He's going to tell you all about this here story.
Can we have you folks down on that other end up on the sidewalk, please? You folks down there, we gotta be up on the sidewalk before we can have the gunfight. Well, afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ike Coleman, and we're here at the Labs. We're going to reenact for you a true and accurate tale about a near-deadly altercation that happened right here in Deadwood Gulch. Now, Gilbert and Southbury's Black Hills and Cheyenne State was rolling down the dusty Cheyenne Trail, approaching the infamous Roberts Root Station. Now, the route is known as the most dangerous one on that trail, being the drivers who have to bring their rigs almost to a stop to get down the respects of Cheyenne River. Now, the messenger right behind the coach that day was none other than old D. Boone May, the notorious bloodhound of the Black Hills. Well, all of a sudden, like that coach came to his side. Prescott Weapons gang, which included his sword, CP Wisdom, and G.W. Connors, quickly got the drop on Boone and the other two guards. And Boone hollered to commence firing, boys. Those other two guards would return, plumb yellow.
No, it don't kick people. Back up.
Collect up the valuables, which included Nate's favorite
That's as good as you're going to get.
and then they just rode off. A few days later, those boys turned the corner on Main Street, Deadwood, and this, my friends, is what commenced to unfold.
Well, boys, where you say we're not going some of this jail, Dustin? Hell inside for a shot or two that we see, huh? What do you say?
Hey, well, ooh, that little old Boone makes the mustard chicken just right what's the crack?
Hey, now, you boys is what you say about Boone May. He's liable to track you down and pop off your empty heads. Besides, you're going to wind up that hornet any more than he is. You know what, Ike?
What's that?
Nothing burns me out more than a bunch of cowards.
Yeah?
Them boys who comes with us didn't even bother to draw their guns.
I know, Boone. I was right there with you. Waving his boys to be tidy something for me, too.
I'll make sure you get that back for you, Ike. Promise you that.
Wait.
What?
Wait. Jump! And Jehoshaphat, that can be what I think it is. Well, look here, who's his name? Prescott Weather State.
Right there, Ram, I'm taking you in. You ain't taking nobody in, Marshal. It's gonna take me in. Just shoot me in the back. I never saw a man in the back before. If I have it delayed. All right, here we
What's going on there? Who's that you shooting?
go. Prescott Weber down there, James. Get your gun out.
Well, tell it, it's 11 days, you ain't got no chance.
I got the devil outside, James. You actually got it. That's a pretty good shooting. Well, what'd you shoot him again for?
I was suffering. Yeah, I was suffering down there.
Are you shooting worse when you're suffering not being low? Go clean up your mess. Help clean him up. Mike tells us the rest of the story.
Well, after all the shooting had stopped, Old Wisdom and Connors got themselves arrested over at the stables on Sherman Street. Now, Doc Babcock, he was able to patch up Webb, good enough to take all three of them down to Cheyenne to put them on trial, where they found all three of them not guilty due to a lack of evidence. Can you believe it? I hear those boys did clean up their ways, though. One of them even got a job riding as a messenger on the very same stage line he helped rob that hot July day. And that's the way things really were in Deadwood when Prescott Webb and the boys came to town. Thanks for coming, folks, and have a great Deadwood day.
Let's hang in! seem a little bit odd that we're playing music at the beginning of a trial, where somebody's life is literally hanging. Please be seated, folks.
Not you, Jack. Get up here. Come on, get up here. You stand right there, Sheriff. Right over here. Stay, keep a good eye on him and make sure you don't do anything funny, okay? All right.
Order! Now, gentlemen, I will now Kuykendall, and was selected to act as chairman of these proceedings. I hereby make a motion on this day, August 3rd, 1876, to hear the case of one John McCall, also known as Jack McCall, alias Phil Sutherland, for the death of James Butler Hickok, alias Wild Bill Hickok. James Butler Hickok came to his death from a gunshot wound administered by a pistol in the hands of the aforementioned Jack McCall in the saloon number 10. If anyone here is not in harmony with this movement, it is now time for you to leave.
Well, looks like they're all staying. They'll probably want to get their $6 for it.
All right, then I'm appointing Mr. Whitehead as chairman of the jury. I assume you have picked a jury of minors from which you did.
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
They certainly look like minors.
Fish Kuykendall, I'd like to make the motion that you preside over this courtroom, in such as it is, in the fair and impartial capacity as judge.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay! Shut your pie hole!
Thank you, Colonel Bay. The motion is passed. While I assume this responsibility, I will not serve unless all here agree to be present with their revolvers, to see that a proper jury is selected, to remain throughout the entire trial, and to see the proceedings here to the end. If anyone cannot, in accordance with this request, please retire immediately.
I'm here, Judge.
Oh, get back there. We can now select defense for the...
We all just sat there stunned. Then McCall pointed his gun at us and pulled the trigger. If I hadn't misfired, I would be sitting here today. He just looked at us kind of strangely and ran out the door. That's when I ran out with the number 10 holler, that Wild Bill has been shot.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Rich. No more questions.
Your witness, Mr. Miller.
Mr. Rich, did you and your compatriots at the table like Wild Bill?
Well, I can't rightly speak for the other gents, but I would say Hickok was a fine man.
Then why, Mr. Rich, would you not give up that chair? Maybe that three knew exactly what was going to happen and you deliberately would not move. No further questions. Hey, I said no further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Rich. You may step down. And for Mr. Rich, folks. Okay. Are you sure the story you're about to tell us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Good answer. Right there.
What is your job?
I'm a bartender. I'm employed by Carl Mann and Bill Nuttall.
Would you please tell us what you saw yesterday?
Yes, sir. I was tending bar when that drifter, McCall, comes strolling in. I had just given Wild Bill $15 in pocket checks and returned to weigh out gold dust. Then that young feller walks up to me, says his name was Bill Sutherland, and asked me for a shot of whiskey. He looked like he was pretty roosted up already.
Roosted out, what do you mean by that?
He was drunk, high-eyed, polluted, skunked, manure-faced, 3 shades to the wind. He was sauced.
Turn it over, Dr. Shoes.
5 years.
No, I don't think so.
You've been down here that long, bitch.
1 year.
You know, it kind of sounds like you're guessing that. Come on. You're my star witness.
6 months.
The credibility is going right out the window. Just tell them. They all know anyway.
2 weeks.
I don't even care how long he's been out there. You got anything good to say about him?
He's a dirty, rotten scoundrel.
I said good things about him.
Thought that was a good thing.
That's nothing like the script.
For about 5 months now. During that time, I found Jack to be a pleasant man with a good disposition. On the other hand, I had the misfortune of having a drink with Wild Bill in Cheyenne. He lived up to his bad reputation as a thug and terrorized every town he disgraced.
Thank you, Mr. Smith, for that unrehearsed testimony.
Colonel May?
So, is it?
That's the name,
Is it a different name?
if you say so.
You say you got Wild Bill in Cheyenne. What kind of gun is he wearing?
Pardon?
I don't think I stuttered. What kind of guns was he wearing?
Well, I guess he had regular armies.
Nothing special about him?
Special? Nope.
Oh, by the way, Wild Bill wore 2 Navy Colts, butt forward with wide ivory handles. Guess you'd notice them too close, since they're just sitting there with the man all afternoon, gambling your life away, and I know who you really are. You're the infamous Bear Bandito! Arrest him, Sheriff!
Mr. Smith. Mr. Ford, that's right. Sorry, Mr. Ford. What is your job?
I build stagecoaches mostly.
And you know my client, Jack McCall?
You betcha. I've known old Jack for about a better part of a year. Jack is as likely to go on a spree as any other man, but he was no cold-blooded killer like Hickok.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. That was
I'm not sorry for what I've done. I did the same thing over again.
Well, that was a pretty powerful speech, Mr. McCall. But with regard to things according to Hoyle, you must first be sworn in and then be seated in the stand. Mr. Miller.
I apologize, Your Honor. The defense calls Jack McCall.
Trying to help you.
Raise your right hand, put your other hand on the book, please. Do you swear the story you're about to tell is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the Do you swear the story you're about to tell is the truth, the whole truth, and do you swear
All the time. Mr. McCall.
my number's 4.
Hereby call this court back in session. Will the defendant please rise? Mr. Whitehead, do we have the jury's verdict, please?
Yes, Your Honor. We, the jury, find the defendant, Jack McCall, not guilty.
Jack McCall, you have been found not guilty by a verdict of your peers. Though if I may use your words, Mr. Miller, is this the kind of justice we want? For your own conscience and your own soul's redemption, I hope not. Jack McCall, you're a free man. Now get the Sam Hill out of here.
That was great.
I think the judge told you to get it. So get it, or I do something I really regret. Ladies and gentlemen, this trial is nothing short of a burlesque of justice. Turn a bloodthirsty murderer loose in this community? No, I do not know what trial the jury just witnessed. Now McCall, he stuck around the camp for a couple of days until Bill Spring, California Joe catches up to him. He tells me, I think the air might be getting a little bit too thin around here for you. Well, McCall took the hint, made tracks in the Wildman territory. But the further he got from Deadwood, the looser he got with his drink with that big mouth of his. If he started bragging at anybody to listen, he'd simply shot Wild Bill just over a game of cards. Now all that bragging did catch up to him, though, made it exceptionally easy to track him down. McCall was rearrested on August 29th over in Laramie City by Deputy Marshal Falcone. He was quickly taken to Yankton, the capital of Dakota Territory, for a new trial. On May 18th, October, the boy was once again indicted for murder, but he pleaded not guilty. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, surely double jeopardy should apply in this case, but it does not. Back in 1868, the U.S. government signed a treaty over Fort Laramie. Gave all the land from the Bighorn Mountains all the way to the Missouri River to the Dakota people, making this a Great Sioux Reservation. Justice Shannon said that a trial for murder that occurred on an Indian reserve was the sole jurisdiction of the federal government. This court had no authority to try him, so the verdict was thrown out and he could be tried again. So court opened on the 4th of December, just 2 short days later on the 6th, McCall was found guilty and sentenced to death. And on the rainy morning of March 1st, 1877, Jack McCall was walked up the gallows, seeming least affected of everyone in this whole fatal affair of his. His last words before that long leap between heaven and earth was simply to ask the marshal to drop the noose tighter around his neck. And at 15 minutes after 10 o'clock, the trap was sprung. McCall's struggles with the king tears were brief, and justice was finally served. Good night, all. Godspeed, and thank you so much for being here.
What? What?
He's asking about the show, the HBO series.
Oh.
I told him I didn't know how historically accurate it was.
Yeah, I don't know. Imagine
It has
it's...
some characters.
Yeah.
It does?
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly how that place, right? The
Yep.
place where he acted like he got shot.
Yep.
He was going up behind it.
Yeah, actually, it was across the street.
This way?
Yeah, it was in a different one across the street.
I'm climbing the rock wall.
Where'd you park this time?
Across the street.